Aspen Wolfie here, and today I'm ranting about a whole bunch of stuff that happened to me a few days ago. So, my friends came over because we were going to go to the movies, and of course they came over a few hours early so that we could just hang around. And of course they had me put on my suit, which I was completely fine with. I was like, I want to wear my suit. And then they all started saying they wanted suits, so I was like, yes! More furry friends, maybe. And Peanut did talk to me. I actually asked her if she was part of the fandom, because I clarified that. And she said, yes, I am. And then Lima Bean, the friend I suspected of being a furry, I did talk to her, and she doesn't know for sure, but she's strongly leaning towards being in the fandom. So, yay! And, then we went downstairs, and of course, like, we're just walking around the house. Of course, Lima Bean's mom was here, and she saw Aspen, me and Aspen. And of course, my mom made me so triggered because I went in there and I was talking, you know, like, oh yeah, I like made Aspen and got a suit, and you know, it was like this much money and it's like really fun to wear and yada yada yada. And then my mom said Aspen was from an anime. She was like, oh yeah, she like got a character from an anime and made him into a suit. And I was like, no! He's my own custom designed character. And I did actually tell them that I did actually get inspiration for the design of Aspen. And here is who I got the inspiration from. And I know, like, you're probably thinking, what? Like, the only similarities is the color blue. I know, because I was actually trying to kind of go along the lines of this, but then I was like, you know what, I'll just make my own character. So instead of the like jagged triangles down there, I just put the tufts, and yeah. That's as far as the similarities go, but I did actually get inspiration to make Aspen from that. And so that was really like not that bad, but it did make me triggered. And then we came upstairs and we were on my computer and everything, and I listened to a lot of music. So I actually always have a tab of music open in my browser, and so my friends went to that tab, and it was like a whole mix of songs, but the title of it was Warrior Songs, and they were like making fun of it, like, Warrior Songs, what the heck? And of course they started skipping around in the mix as I was like in the middle of listening to it, and I was like, no, I lost my place, I don't know what song I was on. Like, cause, you know, I don't like restarting a mix as I'm in the middle of it. I like to finish it and then maybe restart it or go to another mix. So yeah, I had to just completely like restart it. So, and then, of course, the Asprail, as I call it, which is Aspen and Asprail, that's like their ship name. That art, it's actually at the end of this video, so you all should know what it is. And I have it as the background on my computer because I'm just so in love with that piece of art. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make this the background of my computer. And I normally change it when other people are coming over because, you know, like if they see that, you know, it might weird them out a little bit. I don't know why, but it might. But of course, I didn't get to sleep until like 6 in the morning. Actually, like 7 that day. So of course, when all my friends came, they literally woke me up. So I was like, crap, can't change it. And then I thought, like, well, they shouldn't be, like, going out of my browser anyways, so it's fine. Well, they all ended up seeing it, and of course, nothing is bad in that picture. They are just kind of in an embrace. They aren't, like, doing anything sexual. It's not a nasty picture at all. It's actually a very sweet, little, nice picture. And of course, they all of them were like, oh my god, why is this the background of your computer? That's so nasty. And of course, I was explaining to them, I was like, get your head out of the bedroom. Nothing is going on in there. And then, of course, Peanut and Pistachio, they just dropped it. But Lima Bean was like, they were doing something bad. I saw it. And I was like, okay, for the split little second you saw it before I shut down my computer because they were leaving, you couldn't tell what they were doing, really. So, yeah, I got, like, a little kind of angry at them with that because, for one, they shouldn't be criticizing my art anyways and saying it's bad. And then, like, when I try to explain what it actually is to them, they shouldn't be, like, fighting me and, like, being, that's so nasty. It's like, okay. And then, we're on a drive to the movies, and since I live in the middle of nowhere, it took like an hour and a half to get to the movie theaters. So, the whole car ride, my, Peanut, she has this, like, screech laugh. Like, instead of like this, ha, she's like, ah, 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 ah. Like, and it is just this ear-piercing screech. And the entire car ride, Peanut, Lima Bean, and Pistachio were in the back, and, like, playing with Siri, and of course Siri's responses were really funny, and she would just let off that laugh, and for like 30 minutes of the car ride was just that laugh, and I was up there like, ah, kill me please, because it was just annoying me, and I wasn't gonna tell her like, hey, stop laughing, I'm not one of those people. So yeah, have fun. I tried to block it out, but it was very annoying. And then, I can't remember where we were, if this was before or after the, movies. But, so I was talking to Lima Bean, and she came up behind me and, like, hugged me from behind and said, I love you. And I was like, I love you too. And she got all defensive. She was like, as friends, right? And I was like, uh-huh. She asked me that question, like, 5 times. She was like, as friends, right? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, as friends, right? And I was like, yes! So, yeah, and then, like, I don't know if she forgot what my sexualities were, but I told her my sexualities, and I explained to them, to her what they meant. So, I don't know. But, if you want me to do a whole, like, coming out video in my story about how I found my sexualities and stuff, just let me know and I will. So yeah, I don't know what went on, if she just forgot or like what, but yeah. Then after the movies, we had another hour-and-a-half car ride back to our little town. And then we had to drop off all my friends. And again, Peanut, sorry I had to think about that, was in the back doing that screech laughter. And I was just like, oh my god. And then, okay, yeah, my headphones, I had like Bluetooth headphones, and they actually died. So I needed to charge them, so I wasn't using my phone. And of course, like, Peanut's phone died. So Lima Bean was like, hey, can we use your phone? And I was like, sure, here you go, doesn't matter to me. And yeah, and they just, oh, I shouldn't have given them my phone. Like, they were so annoying. But I dealt with it. I was like, sure, have fun, like, yada, 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 don't really care. And then, I was really sick. I had a headache, I get really, really bad car sickness, and then, Lima Bean was sitting right behind me, and she is so tall, she's like 6'1", so she needed a lot of room because my mom just has like a small little car, so I had to move my seat really far up, and if I'm not like fully like laid out like this, then I get really, really, really car sick. So of course I had to sit my seat like straight up, and then I had to like scoot it like all the way forward. So of course my legs were like pretty much smashing into the glove box, and I was like getting so car sick. I was getting a migraine from like all the noise they were making in the back. So I just wanted to quickly drop off my friends and get home and just like go to sleep. And that is one reason I didn't post this last night. I meant to post this last night, but I didn't. And we got to Lima Bean's house, and my mom decides to go in and talk for 20 more minutes. And all my friends' houses are kind of boring. Like they live in like suburban neighborhoods, so you can't really go outside. Unlike me, I live in the country, I live in a rural area. So yeah, I have like fields and acres of land. So yeah, but they don't. And then they don't have super big houses, so you can't run around a lot. So it was pretty much just really boring, and we were just walking around, and Lima Bean was showing us all her stuff. And finally we left, and we then went to Peanut's house. And I don't know what it was about her house this time. I've been to her house before, but this time it smelled really bad. So of course, that was just making my migraine worse, because I have a very, very sensitive nose. And it smelled so bad in there. And my mom again stayed there for like 20 more minutes. And Pistachio actually got a hamster. So yeah, I wanted one, but my mom was like, no, you don't take care of your cat. And I was like, yes, I do. And then finally we went to take Pistachio home, and luckily I've been friends with Pistachio for the longest, so you know, we're pretty used to just stopping in her driveway and being like bye, and her getting out of the car and us going home. And so that's what we did. But before we actually got home, I was hungry, so I saw a Wendy's, and I was like, hey, can we go to Wendy's? But my mom said no, because, you know, she couldn't afford to feed all of us again because we had dinner. And so as we were like driving back to our house, she was like, you want to go get Wendy's? And I was like, no, you know, I could eat at home. I was just kind of hungry back there, so. And of course she was like, seriously, we could go to Wendy's. It's like right down here. And I was like, no, I can eat at home. I was just hungry when we were like 30 minutes away from town, so I just wanted Wendy's. And of course she then went on to explain like how she couldn't afford for us to eat again, and do I want Wendy's now? And I was like, no, seriously, I'm fine eating at home. And it wasn't like, oh, she wanted Wendy's, so she was asking me. No, because if my mom wants something, she goes for it. And also, she does not like Wendy's. Every time I want to go to Wendy's, she's like, no, I hate Wendy's. And I'm like, okay. So, yeah. But all that happened. And, that's all that happened during the day there. And then, the next day, so I have less than a week until I go back to school, and of course I have such a horrible sleep schedule. I am staying up until 4 in the morning and sleeping until 2 in the afternoon. I set multiple alarms to wake me up. I wake up and then I just pass out. So I'm trying to like get my sleep schedule back on track, right? And of course yesterday I came up with a plan of just, I am not going to get out of bed, because if I stay in bed and don't like go outside and run around, my blood isn't pumping and I stay tired and then I'll want to sleep. So I was like, okay, you know what? Gonna do that. Gonna be able to sleep tonight. Gonna be able to switch back my schedule. Well, it was going good until my mom woke up from her nap, and she told me to come downstairs and clean, to empty the dishwasher, to come get my cat. And by then I was already pretty much awake. And then she was like, go get the mail. So I had to go outside and get the mail. And of course, it's like, I don't know, like 0.1 miles to our mailbox because we have such a long driveway. So of course, like, I don't know how many yards that is, but if I had a guesstimate, so I would say it's about like 10 to 20 yards. So of course, that kind of got my blood pumping a little bit. And then I finally was like, okay, I'm not super wide awake. I can like come upstairs and just, yeah, sit down and rest. And then she calls me for something else, and I can't remember what it is. And I'm like, oh my god, you're like ruining my sleep schedule. So yeah, and then around like 11 o'clock, I actually get to sleep because I'm super tired. And I think I had like a nightmare or something. I can't remember it at all. But I woke up like drenched in sweat, and it's like 60 degrees in my room, so it couldn't have been from me being hot. So I was just like, I don't know. And so I came downstairs around midnight and like stayed up until 4 in the morning again. And then today slept until 2 in the afternoon. And I have to get up at 8 in the morning tomorrow to go to the aquarium. It's like, oh my god. Ugh. So, yeah. That's my rant on everything that's happened. So, bye!